Should I stay or
Oh my
should
gosh,
I go?
that song. It took me a second.
Nice
but
job, Carla. Our producer is on top of that. Good morning to everyone. So glad you're with us. 6 a.m. on this Friday. I'm Eric Connor.
And I'm Netta, your Romport. Yes, it is a Friday. We got that feeling going on. Let's send it over to Evan now. You're waking up to a few little trickles.
Yeah, exactly. There we go. We have all different words to describe what's going on. A spritz, a trickle, just, you know, whatever you want to go with. Nothing major out there as we start off your Friday morning. A happy Friday to you at that. Clouds are going to be decreasing. Showers are already decreasing. They're not really much of a threat going through the rest of your morning. By the afternoon, notice the sun. That's what we're expecting through the PM hours. Plenty of sunshine, decreasing showers even over the mountaintops. Potential for a few more snow showers over the mountains with very light accumulations above about 4,500 feet. But for now, we're mostly in the 50s along the coast, 40s farther inland. A warm up comes for the weekend. We'll have a lot more details on what that all looks like. It's going to be a nice one out there. Jenny, how are the roads looking?
They are nice as well. So here it is, big picture. You can see most of your freeways are just fine. Zooming into the South County, there's this random bit of volume on the northbound side of 5 coming out of National City. No crashes reported. You can see the Coronado Bridge has that standard bit of volume as you're hopping off. Up to the North County, crash-free and delay-free. Back to you.
Jenny, thank you very much. New this morning, a driver has died after going off a freeway ramp and crashing into a bridge support pillar. This is a terrible accident. It happened around midnight on the eastbound 8 ramp to the 5 South. Crews also rescued a passenger, took that person to the hospital. CHP is now looking into how this may have happened.
The debate over immigration is heating up. Unaccompanied children could be housed at the convention center here as soon as this weekend.
And this comes as immigration did become a big topic during President Biden's very first media conference of his presidency. And News 8's Chris Groh joining us live outside the convention center downtown to explain a lot of this back and forth that's going on. Good morning, Chris.
Good morning, and Eric and Netta. And look, there's a growing amount of attention being placed on this because of those images that we've been seeing lately from the border there between the USA and Texas, and also because of those images that we're seeing in those holding facilities where 17,000 unaccompanied children are currently being housed, according to the U.S. government. Because of that, the media briefing that we saw yesterday, GOP members are trying to pounce here on President Biden's administration of the handling of this issue.
And it seems like the guiding principle of the Biden administration is to reverse all of the Trump administration policies. But the problem is they don't have any plan to substitute in its place, and it seems like, listening to President Biden at his press conference, that they just want to make the processing of people from across Mexico and Central America and around the world into the United States more efficient, rather than deter people from entering the country illegally.
And you can see there Senator John Cornyn of Texas being joined by fellow Senator Ted Cruz, as well as a group of senators that included Susan Collins of Maine and Mike Lee of Utah. They and other GOP members will be touring the crossing and access points there on the border between Texas and Mexico with Border Patrol agents. This comes directly after, again, President Biden's media briefing yesterday, where the crisis was the biggest topic. GOP members claim that briefing, specifically some of the words and reasoning that President Biden gave, will only make the migrant surge worse across the U.S.-Mexico border. So again, these lawmakers hope that the criticism that they are lobbying at the president and tours like this one will change the administration's approach. It's an approach Mr. Biden defended repeatedly yesterday.
Rolling back the policies of separating children from their mothers, I make no apology for that.
And one of those policies is Title 42, but it's a policy that hasn't been rolled back. In fact, ironically, it's still being used right now. It allows for Customs and Border Protection to turn away or expel migrants that cross the border due to COVID-19, not wanting the disease to spread in these holding facilities. And so the Biden administration has pushed back and said it is still being used, but not the way that the Trump administration used it. They say that they're only using it on families and single adults while allowing for those unaccompanied children to come in and go through the process of seeking asylum. Eric and Netta.
All right, Chris, thanks for explaining that. On to another big story here. This morning, there's another dose of hope in the push for the coronavirus vaccine.
Yeah, starting next week, millions more Californians will be able to get their vaccinations. And News 8's Allison Royal is live along Harbor Island with a closer look at these are some major changes in the eligibility guidelines.
Yes, there are some pretty major changes in the eligibility guidelines here in California. So starting on April 1st, so just under a week away, all Californians 50 and older will have the option to receive the coronavirus vaccine. Now that's regardless of whether somebody has a pre-existing condition. So that's 50 and up. And then starting April 15th, so just about 2 weeks away, all Californians 16 and older have the green light to make an appointment and receive a coronavirus vaccine if they are interested. However, there's a catch if somebody is interested in receiving one even sooner. Governor Gavin Newsom said if you are accompanying a family member to a scheduled vaccination appointment, you can get one while you are there too, regardless of your age or pre-existing condition. That, of course, is if the provider is okay with it. That accompanying family member loophole is effective right away. Of course, this news comes as it is already very difficult for interested San Diegans to schedule COVID-19 vaccination appointments. Demand has outpaced supply. We've done so many stories on that, but President Biden hopes supply will increase. Governor Gavin Newsom said the state is hoping California will vaccinate 3 million people per week starting in April.
So just a few weeks, there'll be no rules, no limitations as it relates to the ability to get a vaccine administered.
So April 15th is open season, and that's when anybody in San Diego County 16 and older can go ahead and make an appointment to get vaccinated. So if you are interested in making an appointment, you can call 211 if you are a senior citizen and don't have access to a computer, or for more information, you can always head to our website. That is cbs8.com. Eric and Netta.
Allison, thank you. President Biden is doubling down on his vaccination goals. He is now pushing for 200 million doses to be administered in his first 100 days. The nation surpassed his initial target of 100 million shots last week on the 58th day of his presidency. This weekend, the vaccination superstation at the Del Mar Fairgrounds will be closed because of a shortage in vaccines. If you had set up an appointment for tomorrow or Sunday, it will be rescheduled automatically. And here is how the county vaccine distribution numbers are looking this morning. Nearly 1,545,000, yes, over 1.5 million now, have been given according to the latest update. That means just over 31% of people in the county have received one shot, 19% both doses. Right now, 97% of the doses the county has received have actually been administered. As for the county's COVID numbers, health officials are reporting 210 new COVID cases. 227 COVID patients are in the hospital. We do have 11 new deaths to report, bringing that total in the county to 3,509.
Today marks a day of action and healing for Asian Americans across our country in the wake of shootings in Atlanta and rising acts of violence nationwide. Nearly 3,800 anti-Asian hate incidents have been recorded in the U.S. in the past year. Virtual vigils are being held throughout the day, and people are being encouraged to talk about anti-Asian racism online. Here in San Diego, a rally will be held in Balboa Park. That's tomorrow at 2 p.m.
Take a look outside here on a Friday. The rest of the weekend looking nice after we get through today here.
Yeah, just some drizzle still coming down. It looks like the roads are a little bit wet as you head out the door, but besides that, not too much to contend with on your Friday. It's pretty calm outside as far as your wind speeds go. The view downtown, it's really nice. I mean, we don't have those low clouds that hung out with us for most of the evening yesterday. It kind of became a little ominous out there. You didn't know how much we were going to see, but it mainly came down just as light rain. Accumulation totals from the National Weather Service came in between 1/100th of an inch up to about 1/10 of an inch, so pretty light for the most part. Weekend forecast, though, shaping up very nicely out there. 73 for your Saturday, 79 for your Sunday. Warm temperatures, though. We haven't made it into the upper 70s for a weekend in quite a while, and with it, no disturbances in terms of wind or rain or anything like that. Just a few high clouds that will join us. We do still have some showers that are clearing out right now. By the time we get to about 9 and 10 a.m., they are out of the region. Some clouds are going to continue through your afternoon, and then those will break apart too and leave us with mostly sunny conditions by the end of the night and into your Saturday. So that way, Saturday and Sunday do show that pretty strong warming trend on the way, whereas today we're at average, if not a few degrees shy of average. Average high would be 66. Today we're expected to hit 64 degrees. Notice those overnight lows are also pretty chilly compared to average by about 5 degrees. We're going to see those warm up up too. Rain so far this month, even with what we saw yesterday, is below average. We're nearly at 1.5 inches. Average would be 1.55 inches. So we can use more, but none in the forecast beyond this afternoon, really. We stick with this trend of dry and warm weather all the way through next week. Widespread 70s and 80s in the mix. We'll take a look at your extended 8-day forecast just a few minutes away.